start off with fruits and vegetables. We've got onions right here. Now onions are in the cruciferous vegetable family. There's anything from the cruciferous family, which is onions, garlic, cabbage, kale, broccoli, cauliflower. Those are the most cancer-fighting vegetables you can eat because of the sulfur content and some of the other nutrients in the cruciferous vegetables. They're some of the best things you can do for your health, for cancer, heart disease, and that kind of stuff. We've also got some zucchini that I just chopped up right here. Part of Cafe Janae is just making things really easy. Now, if you see the onions, I just chopped them up. The zucchini, just wash them and chop them. Here's some yellow squash. Same thing. I've got some red potatoes that I just parboiled so they're soft but not mushy. I'm going to throw those in there. Red and yellow peppers. Peppers have a higher vitamin C content than oranges and citrus fruit do. So red and yellow peppers are really awesome for antioxidants. We've got some sweet potatoes in here. They're yams. And I've also just parboiled those so they're soft but not mushy. Got mushrooms. These ones are baby portobello mushrooms. I got them at Costco. And I like them because they provide a really meaty texture. So even though you're not eating meat, they still fill you up and they give you that nice chewy texture that you can get with meat. Another cool thing about mushrooms is they're one of the only plant foods that contain vitamin D. And if you expose your mushrooms to ultraviolet light, the vitamin D content can go up to as much as like 1,300 IU per 3 ounces of mushrooms. So that's like taking, I'm trying to remember how much, 1,000 is one little vitamin D tablet. So that's like taking more than a vitamin D tablet, which is 3 ounces of mushrooms that are exposed to UV. They're also very high in protein, and if you combine mushrooms with any kind of whole grain, it makes a complete protein. So you're gonna get equal or a larger amount of complete protein than you would with animal products if you're combining mushrooms with whole grains, which I think is really cool. A lot of people ask, if I go on a vegan diet, how am I going to get my protein and my calcium? Mushroom whole grain combination is one of the best ways to do that. Pineapple. This is just a fresh pineapple. Costco has them right now and they're really delicious. Okay, so there's the base for our marinade. Instead of meat, we've got lots of antioxidant-rich, nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables in there, mostly vegetables. Now we're going to make the marinade. This is pretty easy. All we're going to put in there is just a little bit of olive oil. Now, when you're choosing an oil, vegetable oils, usually canola oil, safflower oil, corn oil, soy oil, you want to stay away from those oils. They are detrimental to your health. If you're going to pick healthy oils, you need to keep it with extra virgin olive oil, raw coconut oil, or organic raw butter. Generally speaking, those are your 3 top most healthy oils you can choose from. So as you're making these recipes, try to choose from those 3 oils. Stay away from hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, and your vegetable oils. This is raw apple cider vinegar. This will just give everything a nice tang, and raw apple cider vinegar also, it helps you with your digestion. It helps the cells in your stomach that produce hydrochloric acid. It helps to turn those cells on, and it helps to produce enough stomach acid that you're really digesting your food a lot better. And so if you have any problems with digestion, the raw apple cider vinegar is an awesome food to include in your diet. This is just some Dijon mustard. This is a little bit of maple syrup. You can also use raw local honey or a little bit of raw agave nectar if you want. When we're choosing sweeteners or sugars, it's important to stay away from sugar, brown sugar, any kind of refined sugars. The more natural and the more unrefined your sugar, the better. So the ones I usually choose are raw local honey, grade B maple syrup, or grade A, just 100% whole maple syrup, stevia, sometimes a little bit of xylitol. I don't like to use it that much just because it's not a whole food, but if you're diabetic and you're trying to find low glycemic foods and you're trying to lower your glucose uptake. Sometimes, under those circumstances, I use a little bit of xylitol. So I'll show you how to use that properly in some other recipes. With xylitol, be careful. It's a laxative, so if you eat too much xylitol, you don't want to exchange it straight across for sugar, or else it'll give you diarrhea. Keep that in mind about xylitol. I've got a little bit of salt and pepper in here. With the salt, make sure that it's a salt that has not been refined. So if the salt has some color to it, like Celtic gray sea salt or pink salt, you know that the minerals haven't been stripped out of it. If it's white, it's probably been refined at really high temperatures and all the minerals have been stripped out of it. It makes it so your body is not able to assimilate it. However, the natural salts, your body actually can incorporate those into your cells and use it for electrolytes. So that's your best bet for salts. This is some fresh rosemary that I've chopped up. And this is, I don't know, it looks like water. Yep, that's water, okay. I was just making sure I wasn't putting something else in there. And then we've got some raw garlic. Now, raw garlic is amazing. It's an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal food. There's a component in garlic called allicin, and what that does is it is the most potent antiviral substance you can get. Once I had mono and strep throat. I had it for months. Couldn't get rid of it. I tried antibiotics. I tried everything. Couldn't get rid of it. I went on 3 days of garlic treatment where I just crushed the garlic, ate it, did that several times a day. It totally got rid of the mono and the strep throat that I'd had for months. And that's because garlic is so potent as an antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. Make sure that you have coaching when you do that, because if you do it wrong, it's going to hurt your you'll be not feeling very good. But when you add raw garlic to your foods, that adds all those properties into your food. It's also cancer fighting. It also helps to lower your blood pressure, and it's a little bit of a blood thinner. So it's good for you in lots of different ways. Plus, I put garlic in just about everything I do, just because it makes everything taste a lot better. All right, I've got a Vitamix here. This baby is awesome. I love my Vitamix. Every class I use it for pretty much every recipe. This thing will liquefy, crush, blend, it'll do anything. I use this thing several times a day. It's expensive, but I highly recommend it because it does everything. You'll see during the class. Okay, I'm just gonna blend this up. Hang on one sec. Okay, there's your marinade. Now, as you can see, this is pretty simple. It's just a matter of chopping up your vegetables, throwing everything in the blender. Usually when I'm at home, I just have like a flat pan, like a flat Pyrex casserole dish that I put these in. And then it can soak in there a little bit better, but they didn't have one of those here, so we'll just have to make do with a different kind of bowl. So I would do this the night before and let this marinate in the refrigerator overnight. And then when you're ready to barbecue, all you do is take sticks. Now, if you soak your sticks in water for half hour, an hour beforehand, then when you put them on the barbecue, the sticks don't catch on fire. So do that if you don't want flaming sticks. Could be exciting though, who knows? And then all you do is you thread your vegetables and your pineapple onto the sticks, like so. Now, if you want it really, like if you just want something light, doesn't really matter. If you want something really filling, and when I brought these to my Father's Day thing, my dad and my mom were saying, wow, this is more filling than the hamburger, just because there's lots of mushrooms on there, and it's definitely filling, and they're super colorful. So after this marinates overnight, just put a bunch of these on the stick, and then you line them up on the grill. You can either do these on an in-home grill, like this one right here, or you can do them out on the barbecue. Now the pineapple makes it really sweet. The pineapple mixes in here and makes everything sweet, and then you've got the onions, which make everything kind of savory, and you've got the little bite from the onions. So I find that this is an awesome combination. Plus it looks really pretty, so I'm just gonna put that there. And throw those on the grill for I don't know, everything's pretty much pre-cooked, so throw them on the grill for 5 or 6 minutes and then turn them. And you'll know when the edges just start getting a little bit brown that they're done. Pull them off, and you've got an awesome vegan barbecue meal that's colorful, it's beautiful, it was totally easy. And it's guaranteed to be a crowd pleaser. So especially even at a meat eater's barbecue, this is going to be a cool like novelty dish that people will appreciate, and it's something that you can take to a barbecue and not have to feel left out when you're there. Like I said, you can use different kinds of marinades, different kinds of sauces. It's all basically the same idea. You can do it in the house on a grill like this. Any questions about this recipe?